Coach Club, and I am with the beautiful Deborah Porter. Hello, Deborah.
Hello, how are you?
I am wonderful, and I'm so glad you're here today because Deborah is talking about overcoming the Supermom Syndrome. Hands up. Anyone feeling it? Yes. We need your advice today. Deborah's going to walk us through 5 steps to overcome the Supermom Syndrome. But before we get started, I really want to tell you about Deborah, this beautiful soul who is I recently connected with, and I'm so honored that you are part of the Parent Coach Club. So let me try and get through your short bio. I know we could go on and talk about all the fabulous things you're doing, TV superstar and everything else. But I'll give our watchers and listeners a short intro to you and then let you take it away. So Deborah
Perfect.
is the ultimate list maker, system creator, and investigator of anything that will make things run smoother at home and in life. I need that. Yes. Hands up. Yes. From new mom to empty nester, Deborah has employed strategies along the way while being married for 30 years, 30 years to her
30
college
years.
sweetheart and raising 3 beautiful children. Having systems in place allowed Deborah to achieve her personal goals while making room for herself in every phase of motherhood. Deborah is the founder of Mom's Mentoring Circle, where she coaches and mentors moms who have lost themselves in motherhood and are ready to connect with the women they were before having kids. Does anyone remember that woman? She matters, right? She so matters. And I know that a lot of us out there are going to be leaning in to listen to your words of wisdom, Deborah. So take it away. What did I forget to? I know there's so much more to tell about you, but how did you get into really being the one that walks these moms through the process of finding themselves again?
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm so happy to be here talking with you today about this. This is not only something that I teach about and talk about, but it's something that I've lived through and struggled with as well, being a mom. So, early on, having children, I quickly realized not only did I need a mentor in being a mother, but that I also had skill set and offerings that I can offer a mom. So I think that wherever we are in our motherhood journey, we've got to always think about having someone in our lives that's a little bit farther ahead than where we are to kind of help us through some of that. And then also offering to moms, younger moms than us. But I've done this probably most of my mothering years. I think that I've made it more of a structured actual program and system about 2 years ago. And so, as a mom coach, I'm working with moms that feel overwhelmed. I'm supporting moms that feel lost in motherhood. I'm wanting moms to understand that this is the one job you give your complete self to, you give your all, you pour your heart and soul into it, only to work yourself out of that job. Because at some point, our kids are going to leave. They are going to start their own lives. They have their own vision for life and their own dreams. And my goal is that when those babies get to that point and they're ready to go, that yes, we may have a few tears, but we're not wondering, if I'm not mom, who am I? I want us as moms and as women to always be connected to who we are, what our own natural gifts and talents are, what our own dreams are, not losing sight of those. I heard someone once say, we don't have to set ourselves on fire to keep everybody else warm. We can still do things for ourselves. I think it does our family well to see all of us. Yes, I want to be a great mom. That doesn't mean I have to be the perfect mom. But I think it's great that my kids see me be a great girlfriend to my friends and a great wife and all the other many hats that I wear and things that I love to do. I think it does them well to see all of us and not just this one dimension.
That is so beautiful and really speaks to my time in life right now with my son off to school, my daughter ready to go off to school. And it is, interesting time when you try and figure out, okay, who am I now? Who am I now if I'm not, supporting all four kids at home and doing all the mom things? And that's why I loved that we are talking about this right now and just overcoming that supermom syndrome, that you have to do it all and you can't take care of the other parts of you. So would you share with us, Deborah, you have some strategies as a system creator and list builder. I know you have a solid system for us on how to overcome this supermom syndrome. So what would you suggest that we start with?
I think the first thing we need to start with, and these are not really in any particular order, but I do like this part being first, because I think this is where many of us tend to settle and maybe even struggle, is being vulnerable, being able to ask for and get the help that you need. And this is something that moms for different reasons may struggle with, right? Some of us, this was me. I wanted it done my way, right? Whatever the task, whatever the particular thing was, I wanted it done my way. So it was easier for me to just do it than to take the time to have to teach someone else to do it. And so bit by bit, I just started releasing stuff. So the first big thing for me was the linen closet, right? I released that to the kids. Like, my kids started washing their own laundry young, probably 4th, 5th grade. And so they would just kind of roll the towels and shove them in there. And it just really got to me. And I finally said, who cares? The door to the linen closet remains closed. The only people going in there are the people that need those towels. It's not that big a deal. So I think being able to begin to release certain things that we really feel like have to be done a certain way, have to be done in a particular order, releasing ourselves from that, because it really is a form of bondage. It keeps us bound to having to do all the things. The other thing that for me became very important was beginning to outsource and really understand how that works. Companies do it all the time. And I think, our homes run like a small business, depending on how many moving parts you have. There's no shame in bringing in support as you need it, or sending things out. I discovered an app for a laundry service. Literally, I sit my laundry at my back door. They pick it up. 24 hours later, they text me and say, your laundry is right back where it was, but now it's clean and folded. You can even pick your own laundry detergent. Like, there are so many options now. And so my goal is to get moms to realize the only way you're going to get the support that you need from your family and beyond is to say so. And it's okay. It's okay to say, you know what? I need a little bit of help here. I cannot do all of this. It's okay.
Okay, I think if we even stopped here, that would be enough to get me on the right track. But you have 4 more tips. But I want to say right now, I have my 14-year-old boys out sorting the recycling. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, are they going to get it right? Are they going to get the cardboard with the cardboard and the plastics with the plastics? Are they going to do that okay? I'm going to just let that go. So that tip right now is serving me so much better. Not that I wasn't completely focused on you right now, but I get it. In the back of my head, I was thinking, oh, I hope they're doing it right. And I hope they're not fighting behind me when because so I'm just going to let that go. And I love that. The linen closet, it does drive me crazy as well. So I love that you mentioned that. And really, what's it matter? Another thing. At the
end of the day.
Yeah. Another thing is making your bed. Like, when I grew up, we had to make our bed when we woke up. Why? and it is a point that I make to my kids every day. Go make your bed. Like, why? Anyway,
that is so
thank you.
That was kind of our house too. I was real big on the bed making when you get out of it. But then when I realized, and I've realized this recently as we've been going through, being quarantined and being at home, that it's a fight that moms have been picking with their kids. Make your bed, and the kids are like, we're not going anywhere, no one's coming here. And so really just helping them to realize, this is a unique time. Maybe don't pick that fight today. Right? You may have some other things that are really important, that you really need them to hear you. But if they're hearing you all day long on all this little stuff, sometimes the big stuff sounds, gets drowned in some of those other things. And so you're right. At the end of the day, especially right now, is it the most important thing? No, we've got probably bigger fish to fry, things that are maybe a little bit more important. That might not be the fight to pick today.
You are wonderful. And I think the outsourcing point that you made too is great. But even having someone come in and help with the deep cleaning and washing the windows, things like that, could relieve a lot of the tension at home too, that if these things don't get done and done my way, I'm going to be upset. And I could just very well have someone come in and do it for us. So that is a great point.
I think sometimes we want people in our home to be as intense and as alert to the things that we see. And we just assume that everyone else should see them the way that we see them. And we're all different. And it's just not going to matter. My husband will not see a laundry basket to save his life. It's just, that's not where his focus is. He wants to know, is there something to eat? Like, is there dinner ready? Are we eating anything? I mean, he'll even cook it. Like, he's not even, he'll cook it as well. But everyone's not going to see what we see. And so you've got to determine for yourself where your limits are. A lot of these services, people assume they're very expensive. Most of them are not. There are so many apps available. As a first-time customer, there are so many discounts for bringing someone in to clean. It could be quarterly, it could be every other month. But those things, for the one in the house that carries the mental load of all the stuff that needs to be done, I'm telling you, it's life-changing.
Yeah, that's a great point, Deborah. Thanks so much. Okay, so that was only the first point. What's the second tip for us to overcome the Supermom Syndrome?
The second tip is that aiming for perfection is only going to rob you of your peace. And here's what I mean by that. We're never going to be perfect. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how well you clean your home, how exceptional your children are, how great their grades are, how well-mannered they are. It just, how many snacks you bring on their birthday to school, the list goes on and on. But aiming for something that you can never reach really robs you of those peaceful and maybe imperfect moments that really is what life is made up of. And so I like to tell moms, you can be a really great mom without being a perfect one. And so instead of aiming for being the perfect mom, or even worse, maybe comparing yourself to what seems to be someone that is a perfect mom, the measure can always be, am I a better mom today than I was yesterday? And with that measurement, you're only measuring yourself against yourself. And so there's no need for comparison. There's no need for the perfection. It's just about wanting to be better each day in whatever areas of our life that we're living, so that we can see growth for ourselves. So perfection is the enemy of your peace.
I love that. And I just want to say that one more time so everyone hears it. If you are being a better mom than you were yesterday, today, you're on the right track. You're only comparing yourself. Okay, you said it much better. How did you say it? Say it again, and then I'm going to quote it for you.
That's exactly right. No, that's exactly right. But instead of comparing yourself to another mother, the only measure we have is, am I striving to be a better mother today than I was yesterday? My comparison is only to myself. It's never to something or someone on the outside. It's always inside.
Okay, that is something I'm sharing on my Facebook and my Twitter and my Instagram, and it's a Deborah Porter quote. So make sure that you watch for that quote and live by it. I think I might even print it out and put it on my computer so I see it, because that's a great reminder for us moms. Okay, so that was tip 2. What's the third tip, Deborah, for overcoming the Supermom Syndrome?
So number 3 is my favorite. I actually, if I was in my home, I would show you this on my wall. This is in the wall of my office, but the word no is a complete sentence. And I think so many times as moms, we want to be the one that people can come to if they need help, whether it's in our home or neighbors, or if the school needs help, or, just the list goes on and on. There are moments where you're going to have to say no. Because if you're saying yes to everything, then my guess would be the one person that you're saying no to is probably yourself, and you deserve the yes before someone else gets it. And so when we talk about no being a complete sentence, I had a mom ask me once, well, how do you say no to someone without sounding mean? And I thought, gosh, there's a million ways to say no without being mean. You can say it with a smile. You can offer something in exchange for what you're being asked. I know many times I was asked to, head up plan a particular party for a class or something. And I'm not available to do that this year, but I can send cupcakes, right? So sometimes there are things that you can do. It's not the thing that was asked, but you can offer something else. Or the other thing you can do is you may know someone who wants the thing that you were asked to do. There may be a new mom or someone in town that really wants to do this thing that you've been asked to do. You can very easily say, you know what, I'm not available, but I know somebody that I think would love to do this. So, having the courage to really step into saying no without apology, because another thing we like to do is say, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't. Well, you don't have to be sorry. It's, you're just not available. You're not able to do it this time. So really helping moms to just stand in the courage and the confidence of knowing that no is enough. I don't have to explain it. I don't have to make excuses for it. It's just, I'm not able to do it right now.
That feels really empowering to me, because I like to say yes to everything. And actually, a couple of years ago, it was my year of yes. It was, I said yes to everything. And you know what? I had some great experiences and went to different places and accepted different invites that I would normally say no to. And I said yes to everything. By the end of the year, I was completely exhausted and drained. And so it's really empowering to know that it is okay to say no. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's very freeing. You're right. I agree with you. It's liberating to know that I don't have to live up to the expectation of what others think I should be doing. Because again, if you're saying yes to everything on the outside, and I think what you're talking about really is you were saying yes to yourself. Many of those experiences were for you. But there are times when moms are saying yes to so many external things that then the moment comes for themselves to say yes to something they want or need, or, needing to get extra help in the house or what have you. And we're not as comfortable saying yes to ourselves as we are to everybody else. Mm-hmm. And some of it is because we don't feel we have the time, the money, the resources, the list goes on and on. But if we're a bit more clear about what things we can give ourselves and our time to, then it's a lot easier to make sure that the things you need to say yes to for yourself, that there's time and energy there to do it.
That's a great point. I think for me, it's guilt. If I can't say yes to everything, I feel like a failure. And I feel that the guilt that is so heavy. So I'm glad that you've given the okay to say no.
Yes. And the guilt is a real thing. Mm-hmm. That really is. That's a real thing. I mean, we feel it from our kids sometimes, and we have to tell them no. But, it's very important that our kids understand there will be no's in life. There will be disappointments. There will be things that you want, that you think you deserve, that should come your way, that for whatever reason may not. Mm-hmm. And I think that we have a responsibility in, giving our kids the best that we can give them, but also giving them the opportunity to understand that real life does not always involve a yes at every turn. Sometimes it's just no. And sometimes there is no real explanation. It just didn't happen for you. I've known moms who have had kids to not get in the college of their choice, and it's the first no they've ever gotten.
Mm.
Or, to not get the job that they wanted, or to not, whatever. But it's, they are so crushed because they're just not accustomed to hearing no. It's okay to tell our kids no. It's okay. They'll be the wiser and the stronger for it.
Wow, I really needed to hear from you today. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, we still have 2 more tips though. So the fourth tip for us.
Fourth tip is check your systems.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I am a list maker. I've always been a list maker. As a little girl, I always made lists of which dolls I was going to play with. I mean, it's just kind of my thing. It's how I function in life. Through all the jobs that I've had before I became a stay-at-home mom, I was a probation officer, parole officer, investigator. All of those required me to have some type of a system in place. And so the jobs just kind of fit well with my personality. But checking your systems and making sure you've got things in place so that if you were to take a 2 to 3 day self-care trip, right? Just you, no kids, no husband, it could be a staycation, it could be just on the other side of town. Can the things in your home still function, still run well, still get done, even though you're not there? And if the answer is no, then what that is saying is you are the system, right? There's no systems in place that if you step away, there's still systems for people to follow. They still understand the process of what day is trash day, how to work the laundry machine, cleaning up around the house, taking care of themselves. So if you're unable to do that and you return and your house is literally in pure chaos, then my question would be, where are your systems? What systems do you have in place? Do they know that on Tuesdays, the laundry folks are going to come and pick up the laundry at the back door? They have to do is sit it out. Do they know that the trash pickup is on Tuesdays and all they got to do is set it out? If you're the one doing all of that and you don't have the participation of your family and everyone doesn't have a place and a space and a job, then what happens is you're the system. So if you leave, the systems have left. And so the idea is to set those systems up in your home. It prevents you having to be the nag for the systems, right? You're not always going to say, did you do this? Did you do that? You've got the system, you've got the chart, however you choose to use it. There are apps now. I have one app that I love, which is Cozy. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I have.
Cozy, COZI, is amazing. You are able to color code. Each family member gets their own color, everyone's schedule, all the chores, your grocery list. I mean, it's all literally on your phone in one app. At a glance, everything that's going to be going on. So even if you just start there, even if you just start with an app that everyone has access to. So as opposed to saying, did you do your chores? Well, it's in the app. All you have to ask them is check the app. They can't say they can't because they lost the sheet of paper. They forgot to look at the chart. They go nowhere without these, nowhere. Mm-hmm. So start with a system. You need some kind of a system in place to begin to free yourself.
That's interesting, Deborah, because I was about to say, check your systems. I'm good in that. I can go away for 4 or 5 days and everything will run smoothly. Everyone knows their jobs. But I, as well, like lists. And that list often gets misplaced accidentally, somehow. The list is gone. So I see an app being very effective. So thanks for recommending that. And part of your coaching too is to figure out what way works for each family. I know that. So if everyone has a phone and the app works the best, how freeing could that be for a mom to be able to?
It's a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. And again, it prevents you from having to be the reminder in chief, right? Mm-hmm. Having to go around and make sure everyone is doing what they're supposed to do. And for little ones that, don't yet have phones or don't yet have apps, the charts and all of that still work really well. It's a visual for them. And then, it's a reminder for them, and it's a great way to reward them. So you're right. Depending on the family, the age, and kind of works best, we would decide kind of what would, maybe a blend of the two. But if you've got older kids, I'm telling you that app is really going to be very, very helpful.
And when they're on Snapchat, does it just come up as a reminder? Take the garbage out?
So you can set
Hmm.
it to send you a daily reminder or a weekly reminder. So I
Hmm.
have ours set every Sunday evening. We get our, for the week, this is what's going on. But you can literally set it for daily. So either every morning or every evening, you will get a reminder of what's going on coming up the next day.
So it's not like me every hour. Did you take the garbage out? Did you take the
No.
garbage out? How about that garbage? Okay. I can see that being good to, just giving them the accountability of making sure that they're checking in on that app. And if they only get a reminder once a week, that must feel good to them too. Because I know my kids don't like it when I'm constantly asking them to make their bed, take the garbage out, do things that are an everyday thing. Making the bed is
Yep.
off the list now.
Right, off the list.
Off
But
the list.
and it's beginning to give them their own lives back piece by piece.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is another piece, I think, for moms, that if we are doing too much for our kids, because I do think they get to ages where we're doing too much for them. And I remember one of my children, when they left for college, called home and said, "Do you know that there are kids here that don't know how to work a washing machine?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, what?
Yeah.
They are leaving. And so as best we can, age appropriately, give them pieces of their life back, right? Give them the things that they can do. And what that does for you also, that gives you that one less thing. You can now take a piece of your own life back. So the idea is we're giving them their life so that when they leave, it's not like we've ripped the Band-Aid off, right? We've bit by bit, we've been giving them pieces of their life. We've been building up to this moment of them leaving. It's not a sudden thing. We're planning for that.
Mm-hmm. Great reminder. And that kind of leads us into the fifth point that you have. The fifth tip to how to overcome Supermom Syndrome. Tell us what that is, Deborah.
It is invest in yourself. Listen, what ACT prep course will you not pay for your kid? What advanced soccer team that they play on and make, are you not willing to pay whatever the fees are? There comes a moment where you have to begin to see yourself and write yourself in on that schedule in pen, not in pencil, not erasable, not removable, right? There comes a moment where you've got to say, everyone else is advancing and growing in the areas that they desire. Why not me?
Yeah, and what is it about that stops us? Because my husband, he'll go to work and at lunchtime he runs or he bikes. He gets up early and he does that. Like he makes a commitment to himself to hold that time for himself, to better himself. And what is it about us moms that we just still have that guilt that we, are taking time from our kids, our family, our duties, our everything? What is it about that doesn't allow us to invest in ourselves?
You have hit the nail on the head with that. There is an issue of guilt that for a lot of dads, they just don't have. I mean, my husband is committed to his workout routine. That's not a slight against me. That's his commitment. I could do the same thing, but no, I've got the mental list going, right? So I've already predetermined that no, I can't do it because I have all these other things to do. It's a mindset. And there comes a place and a time where getting someone who's outside of your world can begin to coach you through being able to identify that for what it is, being able to set appropriate goals, and then to go after those goals. Many times accountability makes the difference. Having someone that's holding you accountable, having actually written out goals and desires and being able to kind of check them off one by one, week by week. But it's a mindset. It's something that we've done to ourselves. And, I was reading Michelle Obama's book and she even spoke about that. She was like, he's going to go work out and I'm here with the kids. But no one ever said, don't go work out. No one ever said, you can't go, right? It's just what we've conditioned and told ourselves. So it makes a difference. It makes a difference because in the family, it begins to communicate that we're all important, right? There's not a hierarchy. There's a need for all of us to be experiencing some level of growth and development. And however that looks, For your kids, it looks one way. For your spouse, it may look another way. But for you, it needs to look a certain way as well. We can figure that out.
Yeah, I can see a lot of opportunity for change in my life specifically, but a lot of the parents that I talk to, I can just see the value of working with you through these steps and having you hold them accountable. So, can we talk a little bit about how you support parents if they wanted to get in touch with you? Can we talk about your coaching? I can see
Yes.
just in our short conversation the incredible value and transformation you can make in a family. But do you have like one-on-one coaching, group coaching? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes, both of those. There's actually opportunity for group coaching, which involves, well, all of these processes start with a 30-minute call. It's a complimentary call. And we would get on that phone and we will kind of figure out where you are, where your family is, what support you're needing, how we can support you. And then we would determine then if a group coaching program would fit better, if you're looking for one-on-one coaching. There are moms that just, they want a little bit of privacy. They want some exclusivity. They want to be able to talk completely openly one-on-one. They're not quite ready to share in a group setting. I love the group setting as well, though, because I think we're holding each other accountable. There is a circle in that. My company is the Moms Mentoring Circle. There is a camaraderie there. There is help when you hear someone else having just overcome the same thing that you've been dealing with. So there's a level of, okay, if she did it, I can do it too. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. And then there's also some self-paced opportunities. I have a home life harmony course that literally is on my site right now that you can download and get almost immediate access to, which will give you some of what we're talking about today. Overcoming the Supermom Syndrome is part of a teaching that I did. So you'll get the complete teaching on that, as well as a 4-week course on home life management, kind of just setting up some of those systems in your home to begin to get immediate results from those as well. So yeah, all of those options are available, and all of that would start with a phone call.
And that's wonderful. And I know some people are hesitant to do a free phone call. You're not obligated to do anything else with Deborah, but oh my gosh, in this half hour that we've been chatting, look at all of the goodness that you have given us. So if nothing else, take the 30-minute call, reach out to Deborah because she is fabulous. You also have a free download. So if you even want to start with a free download of the 7 Habits of Confident Moms, do that because it is amazing. I've got it, I've read it, it's fabulous. So I'm going to provide all the links after in the notes so that people can connect with you. They can find you on the parentcoach.club website, but also through your links. But if nothing else, like just take the 30 minutes. It's free. And Deborah is fabulous. So you've given me so much to think about and so many tools to implement in my family. And you would think, I talk to parent coaches every day. You'd think I got it all worked out, but I need these reminders. And that's something that a coach can do for you too, right? Like just having someone to hold you accountable and to remind you, keep going, baby steps forward. You're going to get there, and how important it is to just take care of you too. So thank you for all your tips today, Deborah. Is there anything you want to leave us with before we go?
The one thing I would say, this has been great, Jennifer, thank you. The one thing I would say is, if no one has told you today, you are worthy of this. You are worthy of the moment to now think about, what do I want? So if you need permission, if no one's given it to you, Jennifer and I are giving you permission. This is okay. You can do this. The guilt is not your friend in this regard. There comes a moment when, and if this is reaching you, if this is speaking to you, if this is something that you've been thinking about or needing. But I would just give you permission. I'm just going to give you permission to do for yourself today what it is you need. And we're here to support you.
Those are beautiful words of wisdom to end on. Thank you so much, Deborah.
Thank you.